Okay. Hat gelassen in mittendrin alle geschochtene und nicht geschochtene Eufes mit alle ungeduldige Weiber zusammen. So he left in the middle of the whole process all the slaughtered and the non-slaughtered birds and all the impatient women. He left them together. Sollen sie quochzen und schreien, wie viel sehr Herzgelust. Let them cluck and shout as much as they want to. Allein hat untergehabt Susken wie ein Unterführer unter einen abgehalschten Arm, weggezogen ihm in a stillen Winkel und in der Taxenstibel rausgehabt von tiefer Käschene als sotkele Brampfen mit a Stickel lecker. So he escorted, he seized Zuska and escorted him under his weak arms, and he led him to a quiet corner of the slaughterhouse, and he schlepped out of his deep pocket a flask of whiskey and a piece of cake. Gemacht L'chaim mit Susken und verbissen und Tage noch einmal L'chaim und weiter verbissen. So he made a L'chaim with Zuska, and he took a bite of lecker and made another L'chaim and another bite. Nu, junger Mann, git Elie chitre a Wunk mit ein Eigel. Was sagst du etwas erzählt? So now, young man, he's winked at him slyly with one eye, and he said to him, and what do you say now? Was soll Zuska, Hirschels Edem, sagen erzählt? What should Zuska, Herschel's son-in-law, say now? Der verschwindelte Kopf bei ihm hat sich genommen drehen auf zurück. Der Weitug in Herzen ist geworden Temper. So the lightheadedness of Zuska began to recede. The pain in his heart became blunted. A warmer Neppel hat sich verzeugen über die Augen und Euren, und die Meloche von Keulenen ist Tacke weg besser. So a warm sort of fogginess came over his eyes and his ears, and the work of slaughtering went a little bit better.
Excuse me, I remember when we once went on a trip to the Ukraine with Yivo, with Sam Cassow, and there was discussion of how it was that the people were able to do the slaughtering in a place like Babi Yar or other places. And one thing that Cassow said was that they got them drunk. They used to fill them with liquor. It made it easier to do the slaughtering. Similar here. A little whiskey sort of dulls it.
Okay. Was steigt ihm das ganze Trachten und reingucken zu Tarnegoilim in die jüdische Augen rein. So what was the good? What was the use of all this thinking and looking into the simple-minded eyes of the chickens? Elia fiddle mit dem Chalef, oicha fiddle. Elia did a stroke with the slaughtering knife, and he also did a stroke. Elia warf an oif, oicha worf. Elia threw a slaughtered chicken, and he threw the chicken as well. Die Weiber schreien, sollen sie. The women are shouting, let them shout. Hurbes Federn warfen sich, gelle, rabbe, weiße, papilliate, sollen sie. So heaps of feathers swirl. Yellow ones, spotted ones, white ones, gray ones. So let them swirl. Ha, ha, hi, ha, ha. A Gelächter hat sich zerbreut bei Susken in Herz. So a laughter very strongly, furiously broke out in Suske's heart. Nor hat sich eingehalten, mit alle Keuches nicht heraus zu platzen, but he kept this in with all his strength so that he should not burst out laughing. Warum was veraponim wird das haben wegen wenn scheuchet wird sich stellen chochotschen inmitten Schächten Kapores von einem offenen Fenster heraus. And the reason why he kept it in was how would it look to everybody when a sheikhet suddenly begins guffawing in the middle of shechting the kaporas in front of the open window? Soll ich weiterlernen?
Ja.
Der Pfarrer später, noch der letzte Kapora, wenn ist gekommen heim zum Anbeißen, Anbeißen an übergematterter, in brudigen kurzen Chalattel, a verblutigter, a beschottener, mit ungepleckt federlich, hat Gicher ausgesehen wie ein österlich Schotten von a Scheuchet. So, for that reason, later, after the last kapora was shechted, and he came home to have something to eat, and he was exhausted in his dirty, short jacket, bloody, covered with feathers that were stuck onto his jacket. He looked more like a bizarre shadow than a shochet. Nicht hat gekoilet, nor ihm hat men ergetzewu gekoilet. Die neshama abgekoilet. So it wasn't he who was slaughtering, but it was somehow he himself who had been slaughtered. His soul was slaughtered. Der Reich von die erwjomtevdike Macholim und gekochte Kapores hat immer Setz getan in schwachen Kopf. The smell of the yontivdik foods and the cooked kapores, it was as though they gave him a clap in his weak head. Und hat erfüllt a Chaloshes und an Abgelosenkeit in alle Evorim. And he felt weak and a sloppiness in all his limbs, a bedraggledness in all his limbs. Sein letzter Pitzel Willen hat übergelassen irgendwo in Taxestiebel. Verkauft Elia dem Scheuchet für einen Trunk Bronfen mit a Stickel lecker. And his last little bit of strength, he left somewhere in the slaughterhouse. He sold his soul to Elia the Shoichet for a drink of whiskey with a bite of cake. Wasche rein, hat der Herz leben sich sein Weib's call. Go wash, get washed. He heard next to him his wife's voice. Hat sich eingewaschen and he went and washed himself. Leg sich a weilinke zu. Lie down for a little bit. Hat sie zu ihm weitergeredet. She said to him again. Und hat sich zugelegt and he went to lie down.
Thank you. Okay, Nechama.
Nimm a Glas Tee. Tu sich über. Geh zu Mincha. Get yourself a glass of tea. Dress yourself over. Go to Mincha. Haben sich weiter geschotten über ihm sein Weibes befehlen. So all of these, these orders of his wife, but is geschotten, does it mean to, they fell over him or they harmed him? To shot.
It's like her orders shot out at him.
Shut out at him. These orders, get a glass of tea, do this. Und hat gefolgt, and he followed. Hat als gefolgt. Wenn ist gekommen mit dem Schwer von Mincha, ist noch als gewesen wie in Hinnerplet. When he came home with his father-in-law from Mincha, it was as though he was in a kind of stupor. He was a stupor. Wasch sich, setz sich, hat Doba sein Weib gehalten in ein Befehlen und hat weiter gefolgt. Wash yourself off. Sit down. His wife, Doba, remember Doba with the thick lips, his wife continued to order him around, and he again did everything that he was ordered to do. Es ist aber gegangen, azoi no biskel essen. It went this way until it came to the time, up to the time of eating. Essen hat nicht gekannt. He could not eat. The skinny little yeshiva bocher. Wie viel man ist zu ihm nicht zugestanden, hat der Essen nicht gekannt. As much as they stood by him and pressed him, he could not eat. Abgeschlungen ein Löffel Lokschen und stehen geblieben. He had one spoon of noodles, and that's where he stood. Bist nicht gesund? Fragt man ihn. Are you not healthy? They asked him. Nein. Heint, was esst du nicht? Why aren't you eating today? Azoi. Mit a Glas Tee und a Stickel Kitke. Kitke, the South Africans know Kitke, the challah. That's the word they use. With a glass of tea and a little bit of challah, hat sich verfasst. With just a little bit of tea and a small piece of challah, he started the fast. Koim a lebendig von Tisha B'Av. Almost practically not an alive person, he went away from the table. A moire dicker Spellendigkeit. I don't know what that word is, the Spellendigkeit. Moirendik is a...
Sheffeldigkeit is like weakness.
Depression.
Oh, depression.
Depression.
Ah.
Scheffel is niederig.
Is niederig, is to fall.
Yeah.
So a dreadful depression haben bei ihm ausgerufen, die gekochte Kaporos, die blaue Pupkelech und die bräune Leberlech. This, it was a terrible depression, was called out as this cooked kaporos. After all, they were eating that kaporos. The blue, what the pupkelech is the belly button, yeah?
Right, right, yeah.
The gizzards.
Yeah.
We don't eat that anymore. We're too civilized. Und die bräune Leberlach, the brown livers. No
Oh,
more
God.
for us. Just legumes and yogurt now. Yom Kippur.
And bananas. Yeah.
No, not bananas even. Not bananas. No, they're off. You're behind the times. Yom Kippur for Ne'ilah is ihm in Beis Midrash nicht gut geworden. Und hat ihm weggetragen, gechalishte nahem. So Yom Kippur, before Ne'ilah, he, in the Beis Midrash, it became very, very difficult for him. And they dragged him away, a weak one, into
fainting.
A fainting one, chalish avek. The fainting.
Yeah.
They brought him home. Der Rav hat beferush matil gewein soll essen vor Mariv. The Rav had specifically or clearly given the ruling that he could eat before Ma'ariv. A glos te hot dechola vinit is. There's the first time we meet it. He uses it a few times. Vinit is ausgetrunken. Aber opfasten sich mit a kalte Kapor hat beshum offen nicht gewollt. A glass of tea, the sick one, vinit is, was able to, or how did you say?
I think vinit is anyway. He anyhow drank a glass of tea. He anyhow drank.
Yeah.
But
vinit is, but to break the fast with a cold kapara with some chicken, was beyond him. He could not do this. Often nicht gewollt. Mit der Nicht-Gutkeit von der schwache Jidne, welche man tragt zu unteren Nos, a Stück Nevala, a Stück Carcass, azoi hatte abgestupt von sich die kalte weiße Pulke, like a not like with the not goodness or with the lack of grace. How would you say that? Mit a nicht Gutkeit von a weak Yidna, from a weak woman.
I think what a bad sick feeling. The sick feeling of a weak woman.
of a weak woman who they put under her nose a piece of a carcass. This is the way he pushed from himself this cold white thigh. This was of the chicken.
Yeah.
I think this word nevela,
Yeah.
not a carcass, a piece of off meat, a meat that had gone off, so it has a smell.
Yeah.
Had a bad smell, a shtick nevela. So he was not able to look at meat. He was the way you were this week, yeah. A filu nochen teines, wenn alle seinen Scheun gekommen von Schul und abgefasst sich, hat zu sich kein Schum Gericht nicht zugelassen. Even after the fast, when everybody was already came from Shul and was breaking the fast, he would not touch any, he would not get close to any sort of a Gericht, a meal. Und go plötzlich, wenn das Weib ist zu ihm weiter zugestanden, hat sich meuredig zu schrien. And when plötzlich, and when suddenly, when the wife again comes and stands near him, he terribly started screaming, Nema weg de kapora, behema eine. Nema weg de kapora. Take away the kapora, you, now, is he referring to her as a behema? Is he saying you're an animal?
This is not uncommon in shtetl to call a wife that. You see it in other pieces of literature. Yeah, you call her a behema. Yeah,
an animal, sort of
like an idiot, like a cow. You know, like a
cow, like without any brain.
Yeah,
without any brain.
Yeah, but I think also what she's doing, it's not this word.
Which word?
But to invite her zugestanden, she anything when she again served him anything. She presented
when she tried to present him.
She presented him, or she served him with whatever dish she gave him.
He screamed at her.
Yeah.
Men habt sich zu seine Hand und Stern, erst hat a Hitz. Hat Hitz. When they took his hands and his forehead, he had fever. Brennt wie Feuer. De gerottene Schochetzel. He's burning with fire. The successful.
The ordinary is talented.
The talented,
skillful. Yeah.
The skillful shochet. He has a terrible fever. Is azoi abgelegen etliche Tag mit kalten Kompressen auf den Kopf. So he laid like this several days with the cold compresses on his head. Azoi hot der Doktor geheißen. This is what the doctor ordered. Nol ze haben wenig was gekillt dem heißen fieberigen Kopf. But the compresses did very little to cool off the feverish head. In halb Drimmel haben geschwebt wilde Chalomos. In half dreams, this is now going into Zushka's head, there were spinning wild dreams.
Yeah.
Und die Chalomos seinen gewähn voll mit gekeulete Hälsel und Hälselech, a Vorsitzung von der Erv Yom Tov Dicker Taxestiebel. and the dreams were full with slaughtered throats,
Yeah.
a Vorsitzung, a presentation of the Erev Yom Kippur slaughterhouse. Hinel mit weibische Kupkes auf de Keplach und Henel mit Bold und Peos und Yarmalskes. Now we're going into that.
Yeah.
Hens with women feminine or womanly kupkas, like coverings on the heads, kupkas, head coverings on their heads, and hens with beards and payas and kippot. Und die Lecher in Seere Hälsel haben gechollert mit Blut und mit Shema Yisrael, wie die jüdische Kedushim in Shevet Yehuda, which Yaakov told us
that's
about.
right. Yeah.
And the holes and their throats were gurgled with blood and with Shema Yisrael, like the Jewish martyrs in the book of martyrdom.
Right.
This is what he's dreaming.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it geht weiter. The Koilet Tzaf, that's the slaughtered goat.
Yeah. Okay, I'll read a little bit
Von
more.
sein Norwegian Fever hat sich Suske der Scheuchet wie nicht ist a Karabucket. From his nervous fever that he had, Zuske, the slaughterer, somehow, Vinit is like somehow, anyway, somehow, something like that.
Vinit is like, V is like how in some way.
However it is.
Some way,
Yeah.
some way, yeah.
Yeah. He made his way out of it. He came out of it. This is this word.
Mhm.
No,
Rausgekarbektet.
no,
Word.
no, sein Heules hat aufgegessen das bissel Verdiensts von die geschochtene Kaporetz.
Yeah.
The thing is that he's okay. He got himself out of this illness at the end, but his illness already ate up the little bit of money that he got from the slaughtering the kapores. Now the Fardinechs, this is a Litvak way of talking about something. Ending it like this with a Ein Chaf Tzadik, it's a put down of the thing that you're talking about. Fardinechs, to say his earnings is if Fardins, but Fardinechs is like, it's like his little bit of earnings. It's a put down of the earnings.
It's a pitiful amount of money.
Yeah. Angekommen ist das sehr schwer. He got it. It was very difficult for him to get this money. Jede verdiente Kopike ist gewesen begossen mit hinnersche Blut und mit eigene Yisurim. Every bit of money that he earned was dipped in blood, in chicken's blood, and with his own torture. Yisurim is torture.
Suffering.
Una vez is dos leicht. It was very difficult to get it. he suffered so much to get it, but that money went away very easily. Where did it go? Dem Ferschel, dem Apteker. It went to the Ferschel is like some kind of a doctor that they had in the shtetl.
That's a known
Yeah, it's a
apteker-
known thing. Yeah. And dem Apteker, it went to so it went to the medical person, to the medical provider, and to the pharmacist.
Mhm.
Kein
But
Bier
Ferschel-
is nicht geblieben. Another amount like this didn't remain. Nothing remained.
But is
So-
Ferschel like, instead of saying the doctor, I mean, before he talked about the doctor.
No. The doctor Ferschel is not a real doctor. It's maybe it's like a medical assist. Somebody that knows a little bit about medicine, and they use him in the shtetl.
The more usual.
No, you cannot call him a doctor.
Yeah, the more usual word is a feldsher.
Yeah, that's right. If Ferschel, that's right.
So it's
Right.
someone
Thank
who
you.
knows
Yeah.
a little bit about medicine and knows about a little bit about herbs that can
Right, and
heal.
about delivering babies,
Yeah.
they call them also.
And this is a known word. I mean, this is
So now, das ziehen sich in a besonderer Birre, ist so geblieben, irgendwo weit hinter die fieberdicke wilde Chaläumes von seiner Krankheit. So now, moving into a separate apartment, remember, he went to work to be able to move, to another apartment. Now that moving, that remained somewhere very far away behind his wild, feverish dreams, the wild, feverish dreams of his illness. Und wieder einmal ist geblieben stecken in der Duschnigkeit von der Schwiegers Bräutbäckerei und in einem Tummel von Schwerstknellung. This is some description of the situation. Once again, that dream, the thought of moving out remained in the stuffiness of his father-in-law's bakery, bread bakery.
No, the mother-in-law's bakery. The mother-in-law's bakery.
Oh, sorry, yeah, mother, yeah. I confused the sexes, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But wait, the word
yeah.
is there geblieben stecken? Stecken like a stick. He remains stuck.
It remained stuck.
Mm-hmm.
It remained stuck.
Mm-hmm.
And in the tumble von Schwersknellung, and in the that's in the really in the mess or in the noise. Also of it now, his father-in-law's teachership. It remained in his father-in-law's cheder. That's
Right.
the dream remained there in her bakery in his cheder. There he's staying there. And he cannot move out. No money. Nooit, sagt men, brecht Eisen. but they say that need breaks iron. Bald noch Sukkos, wie noch die erste Fresslach geben a Chap, nehmen sich die Gänslerkäs zum Schächten, die hajorike Gäns auf Schmalz. It's something. I didn't know it was like this in the shtetl. Right after Sukkot, when it started getting chilly, the houses of ducks or the duck slaughtering houses are starting their work of slaughtering this year's ducks now for their fat. Der Schmalzsaison zieht sich so weg bis het über Chanukah. That season of schmaltz, of fat, it drags on until after Chanukah. Now, nito azaba leboste, wo soll sich vor der dosiger Zeit nicht besorgen mit Chometzdicke und Pesachdicke Schmalz. This is so funny. There isn't one homemaker who wouldn't at that time not ensure herself with schmaltz that is good as Chometzdicke and also Pesachdik. I didn't know that.
I don't understand that. I don't understand that.
Okay.
Why would she worry about whether it was Chometzdicke and Pesachdik?
Because
I know
she's preparing now. It's already after Sukkot. She has to prepare food for her family, and now already no, she's being proactive.
Yeah, she's worrying about Chometzdicke and Pesachdik schmaltz.
Yeah. I don't know how you maybe Yankev can explain how do you distinguish between Chometzdicke and Pesachdik and schmaltz now after Sukkot? They're beyond me.
So the thing is this, that the schmaltz is the same, but if you cook it in a Pesachdik teller or a Pesachdik top,
got it. Okay.
Then it's Pesachdik. If you cook it in a Chometzdicke top, then it's Chometzdicke.
Thank you. You know an awful lot.
So wait a minute. So they're getting the schmaltz at this time, right when there's a little bit of frost, and then they're saving it and they're going to cook it in the different pans, some for Pesach and some Chometz. That's the way it is.
Yeah. Now another question that I have to you, Yankev. So they have a Pesachdik and Chalev to kill the kachke or whatever it is.
No, it's not a kashka now. It's a
no.
No, you wouldn't have a Pesachdik Chalev. That's a Chalev is a Chalev. You don't need a Pesachdik Chalev, but once the bird has been shechted, it needs to be kashered. And the Pesachdik is that they wouldn't feed it with Chometzdicke stuff. They would feed it with food which is not Chometzdicke.
I see. Are you a rabbi?
So wait a minute, there was a distinction in the schmaltz. There was some that was designated for chometz, and there was
Yeah.
some that was designated for Pesach. And so there was a distinction based on the way the animal was fed. I mean, that was the distinction here.
Yeah.
Wow.
So-
Very,
Can I just tell you a brief thing? My mother-in-law's mother had a cow.
A cow.
In Johannesburg, yes, and they had the cow gave them milk.
a behema,
Okay.
a behema.
A
A
behemoth.
behemoth, yeah. Yeah.
So when it came close to Pesach, they would feed the cow potatoes, so that the milk that the cow produced would be usable
Pesach.
for Pesach.
Wow.
Okay. Thank you. This is something.
Why do you laugh? These things are,
Yeah. I mean, for us, it's like,
but remember, Judaism is a normative religion. It is one which is based on these rules and, sometimes taken to extremes, but
Right.
still nonetheless rules. We are rule-bound people. That's the point.
as I was reading it, I was thinking, I'm so lucky I don't have to be such a balaboste these days to worry about schmaltz,
Well,
We're supposed not to eat fat, huh? Okay, anyway.
I told you, lentils and yogurt.
That's right, yeah. Okay, so where was I? Okay, here, okay. Der Schmalz ist okay, Nitora Zabaleboste, wo soll sich für der dosige Zeit nicht besorgen, this one,
Yeah.
ist weiter geworden, a dochat auf Schochting. So now there is, now that so many balabostas need schmaltz, there became a shortage of slaughterers. Dochak is a shortage. Ot men Susken Herscheles Edem weiter zugezogen zum Taxestiebel. So they pulled Suske, the son-in-law of Herschel, to the slaughterhouse.
Excuse me, the word Taxestiebel, can I just, because it's appeared so many times, that specifically means slaughterhouse?
And that's the tax house. This is the place where
it's a tax.
It was the place where they
paid
the
tax.
slaughtering, but the tax is the tax, because you had to pay tax for kosher slaughtering.
But the word that was used was taxe, for tax. That was the word taxe.
Yeah, it looks like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, so
good to know. Handy word.
Who is pulling him out to do this? A bisschen earlier der Schochen geschleppt, a little bit earlier the slaughterer schleppt him, and a bisschen Weib und Schwieger untergestuft, and a little bit his wife and mother-in-law pushed him. Starch. 5 kopike sagans. Hey, you get 5 coins for 1 kapore. You how can you give it up? Otter gefolgt, so he obeyed. Gefolgt wie ein eingesparter kranker Beikel. He obeyed like a stubborn, sick ox. Welchen men führt in Keulerstiebel, that you lead to the slaughterhouse in a Sumpf von Finsternis. wo es tragt sich der süßliche Gestank von, again, von Kalie gewordenen, vergessenem Blut. Now, you lead that stubborn ox into the slaughterhouse in a swamp of darkness, which is a place where you feel the sweet stink, really, of blood, shed blood that already that is rotten. Kalie geworden. Und da in Taxestiefel hat sich Versuchskes abgeschwachten Gemüt anpflegt ein neuer Schreck. Ein neuer Kapitel von sein edler Parnasse hat sich für ihn entwickelt. So now in this slaughterhouse, there another threat developed for Zuska's really weakened mood or weakened state of mind. A new chapter of the story of his gentle livelihood developed for him, and this will be the chapter of trying to slaughter a goat. And this is more terrible than anything. This is where I stopped eating. A Gans is dir nicht glatt also ein abgekeult und fertig. So a Gans darf man oben Koyach und Genietkeit mit a guten Patsch von a Fliegel kann a Goner überbrechen die Finger von sein Schächter, wie man brecht über Schwebelach. Okay, now already he's saying the killing birds, really. A Gans is a kachke, a duck, a goose. A goose. Would you forget? I forgot. I forgot the word goose.
Well, so far we've met chickens and ducks.
And now a goose. Yeah.
And now a
right,
goose.
Yeah.
He goes through, there's a progression here that he's building up to.
Yeah. Maybe the writer grew on a farm. Yeah.
No, but he's leading us through something, sort of a each one with a little bit more will to live and a little bit more difficulty in the slaughtering.
Yeah.
So we go now we're on the goose.
Oh, the goose. Okay, a goose is not like maybe like a chicken.
Like a chicken, yeah.
Yeah. You slaughter it and that's it, then finished. For a goose, you have to have strength and experience, but with a good punch, a good beating of a
wing
a wing, the goose is able to break the finger of his slaughterer, like one breaks, like one can break
A matches.
all of a sudden
they're
the
so
English
strong,
goes
the
out of my
wing-
head. Yeah.
No, but the wings, I guess, are so strong. It presents resistance. It
Right.
presents resistance,
Yeah.
and that's the difference. That's what we're going through, the process
Yeah,
of
right,
resistance.
right, Nehama, thank you. Right, this is, yeah.
Mm.
Is leading us gradually to the
Mhm.
to what's coming now. Wie
Yeah.
kräftig man soll ihm nicht bin, no matter how strongly you would tie him up, kann noch als starker auf zerratzen de Chalef. Regardless of how strongly you tie him up, this bird is also bird. Now it refers to the goose as a bird.
Mm.
He can break up the knife by throwing himself on it and treif, and by that making treif, making his own schmaltz, his own fat and flesh treif by doing that. I don't know exactly how it becomes
this is
The thing is that if the chalaf is scored, then you can't use it to shecht. It has to be completely smooth. And the goose, because of its strength and the power of its wings, it can score the chalaf, and then the chalaf is, whatever is shechted with that chalaf becomes treif.
I see. Okay.
Mm.
Thank you.
these rules-
I am giving you a smicha of wrong.
Well, we
Meaning-
hope you won't become a shochet. We're hoping that you're not leading us to the toxic shtivel. But what I want to know is these rules, the regulations concerning the slaughtering, they come out of rabbinics. I mean, where are they organized?
Yeah, it comes in the Masechet. I think it's Masechet Chulim,
Mhm.
or everyday things.
Mhm.
Wow. You know,
And
there was I studied. I went to a secular school in Tel Aviv, but we studied Talmud. And what Masechet did we study? Masechet Gittin. You said Masechet. Of all the Masechet Gittin. Yeah. Okay.
Oh, you mean the Masechet having to do with divorces, with death?
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, that's still big issues. Big issues today.
They prepared us for life. Yeah. And then Rob came to test us orally about this Masechet. Yeah.
Mm.
Anyway, wer der größte Gufuna ganz reingenommen zwischen dem Scheuchetsknie wie in a lebendigen Klemm und das gänzene Käppel mit einem langen, schönen Hals wird vorsichtig, kemat lieblich, gezeugen von einem genieten Scheuchet, wie das Käppel von einem Kind. This is terrible. Was man will zwogen mit heißem Wasser. That's why the big body of a goose gets to be put between the slaughterer's knees, like in a live, I don't know, clam I found is distress, but I don't.
No, it's like in a
vice.
a vice. Yeah, like in a holding,
Yeah.
trying to think of
Okay.
a word that, a clem. It's like a holding device.
Okay.
There's a
Thank
word
you.
better than a vice that would.
Oh, okay. And the head of the goose, with his long, beautiful throat, becomes very careful, and it stretches by the experienced slaughterer, like the head of a child that whose head you want to wash with hot water. I don't know why he has to go that deep into this description.
Yeah.
No, anstatt onzeven und waschen, but instead of soaping and washing, that's what you do with a child. Macht nur der Scheuchet, macht gor der Scheuchet über einen ungezogenen Hals Chick, a quetsch dem durchgeschnittenen Gurgel und a Wurf ob von sich dem schwerlichen Guf, wie es lässt sich. Okay, so now the slaughterer like makes like above the stretched out throat, a chick, that's like the sound, I guess, the Chalef makes a quetch them durch he cuts the throat, and by doing that, he's now that he made the cut, he causes the goose to fall off him, that heavy body of the goose to fall off of him as much as possible. Die Gans hat laufen mit halb zerspreite Flügeln und mit einem ausgestreckten Hals wie zum Wasser. Then now the goose starts running with half spread wings and with a stretched out throat, like as if it was running to water. This is like very, very much like a person. The wichtigsten Element von ihr Leben und Entwicklung sieht sie a viele Verantwortung, like she's seeing her whole life before she dies. She sees how her life has developed even before her death. Also läuft sie ab etliche Tritt. They say that one sees one's whole life before they die. So now the goose is doing this, is having the same kind of experience, I guess. As läuft sie auf etliche Tritt, so she runs a few steps, verliert ihr Blut und setzt sich weg wie zum Ausführen Gänselach, wie zum Ausführen Gänselach. Now she runs a few steps, then she loses her blood and she sits down wie zum Ausführen Gänse. Oh, I don't understand. Wie zu Ausführen.
Yeah, as if she was going to hatch little ducklings, little geese.
I'm sorry,
Little
I didn't
geese.
hear what you were saying.
She sits down as if she's going to hatch little geese. The eggs.
Wow, I didn't understand it. Yeah, okay.
Goslings. I think the word is
Gosling.
Yeah, okay, I
Goslings,
understand.
yeah.
Okay, thank you.
gosling.
Yeah,
So
okay. Okay, okay.
it's a
I understand.
very
Thank you.
true
Thank
to
you,
life
Janke.
experience.
Ja. Der gekeulte hohe Hals ist aber nicht genug steif. But the slaughtered high throat is not hard enough. Wackelt, he shakes, als plötzliche Schwachkeit macht, dacht sich wundern die ganz allein. Such weakness, it seems, makes the goose wonder, the goose herself wonder why it's happening. Proved sie ziehen a ton, כדי zu sehen, wo sie halt in der Welt. It's like a person. So she tries to sound out, to make a sound, to see where she is in the world, to see what's going on with her. Aber anstatt ergänzen im Kohl, der hört sich am Modner bloß von einer gespaltenen Schäufer. But instead of the voice or the sound of a goose, you would hear a strange sound of a broken shofar. Now, gefällt das der ganze Honig? This doesn't, the goose doesn't like that sound that she made. Hebt sie sich ein paar Wollinke auf, macht ein Drittele und setzt sich zu. So she stands up slowly, makes a little step, and she sits down. Now another little step, and she sits down until she is already down, sitting down completely on her weakened on her weakened hands or her
red
hands, yeah. At sind
red
sie
feet.
noch einmal a proof, wo es halt mit ihr. So now she tries again to see what's going on with her. Okay. Yankov, you want to continue?
Oh, can you stand? Well, we'll finish this section. Yes. Good.
Okay. Ihr langen Hals beckt sie schlangisch aus, wie wenn sie beschützt ihre junge Gänselach von einem Hund und Gitter trieb die Luft. So she bends her neck in a snake-like fashion, as if she were protecting her young goslings from a dog. And she makes a sharp movement in the air. Die Kraft von bloß pfeift aber heiserig, wie durch a lebendigen kindischen Fiol und kein Kohl herzig nicht. So this the strength of this of the blows, the blowing whistles hoarsely, as if through the living childlike flute, and no sound comes out. In besten Fall hört sich das an wie ein schwacher, in der Länge gezogene Hust. In the best case scenario, it sounds like a weak drawn out cough. Weiß der Kind die Gans, als es mit ihr geschehen ein Unglück. Weiß der Kind die Gans, als es ist mit ihr geschehen ein Unglück. Als ihr chasonischer Kohl ist verloren. So the goose now knows that she's undergone a misfortune, and that her
Cantorial voice. Huh?
Her what sort of voice?
Cantorial.
Cantorial
Chazanish.
Is lost, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gone.
Stellt sie wieder auf ihr langen Hals zwischen die halb abgeloste Flügeln und schockelt dem Kopf von rechts zu links und von links zu rechts, als sei regelmäßig, als sei ein Tonik wie ein verkehrter Umruf. So she begins to move her long neck between her half-freed wings, and she shakes her head from left to right and from right to left so regularly and slowly, like as the opposite of anxiety, of anxiousness.
Wait. Via verkehrte Umru.
Yeah.
Now,
Yeah. Umru is like a disquiet, or umru, but it can be a child that's an umru.
I didn't hear. Yanke,
No, but
what did you say it was?
Like a verkehrte umru.
At the opposite of anxiety.
Okay. I found for umru, I found in the dictionary a pendulum. That you use a pendulum for music to give you
Rhythm. It can
rhythm.
also mean
When you,
it can also mean umru, like not quiet. Umru.
Yeah, but I thought that the verkehrte umru, they were talking about a concrete thing.
Yeah. I think we are. Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah.
And therefore, it makes sense that it is a pendulum, because
Like a
it's talking about sounds.
like a disturbed pendulum. Yeah. I think you may be right. Yeah.
I'm always right.
You're not always right, but you're right this time. It's good to be right sometime. I think you're right. Via verkehrte Umru, like a disturbed pendulum. I think that is the right image. Though
Yeah,
later on,
he was talking about the cantorial voice, and you know, for music you use pendulum.
Yeah,
you know,
but
so
I
now
think-
there's a pendulum that is turned upside down that doesn't function correctly.
Yeah. But you know, I think, but later on, we won't. I don't think we'll get to it this night. But we meet the word umru again, and
Yeah,
there,
yeah, that is true, and that's in plural.
Yeah.
Umruen, and which makes me think it more so that he refers to a pendulum, because he
well, we'll see when we get to it.
yeah, he makes in plural.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting to see, because here I think you're right. But when the second reference, which we'll get to next time, Mirz Hashem,
yeah,
I think it refers to, there he seems to be referring to the idea of children, of restless children. But let's just put that aside.
Okay.
You know, we'll put it aside for the next time. We have a question. It's always good to be left with a question.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, Janke,
go ahead.
Mit vermachten Augen schockelt sie azoi dem Kopf und mit tiefer Kavona. So with closed eyes, she shakes her head as if in deep concentration or intention. Zet ois I meuredig, I komisch. And the whole scene looks both awesome and comical. Etwas wie a stummer, kulierter
Klogerke.
Ein stummer Klogerke wollt beklockt ihr eigenem Muzzle. It's as though a silent professional mourner was bewailing her own fate. Okay?
Okay.